Today is payday, so let's go ahead and budget my bi-weekly paycheck using the cashless budgeting system. So I have my budget workbook in front of me. I'm going to scroll over to the paycheck budget worksheet because that's where I actually plan out my money whenever I get paid. Now, I'm going to be explaining to you how I actually come up with this paycheck budget and basically just break it down and explain it to you. So I always start off with the payday. I know that my payday is July 18th. Then I move on to the income section. Now I budget my income at the lowest amount that I've ever received, which is $1,900, but your girl just got a raise. I didn't even realize that I had got a raise. I knew it was coming, but I didn't know if it was going to be this check or the next one, but your girl got a raise. And how do I know that? My retirement and my investment changes. And because I know that my investment is set at 3%. So whenever that changes, I know that I got a raise. Something happened where I made more money and things like that because it's based off your salary or whatnot. So I just got a raise, y'all. So I'm super excited about that. So my paycheck was actually $2,768.17, which I did a lot of overtime. Well, not a lot of overtime, but I did go in on one of my off days and I had a couple of hours over. So this is how it's so far from the $1,900. Now I don't know just yet how much a regular check is gonna be, so I'm gonna still continue on budgeting at the lowest, which is $1,900, until I get a 80-hour check, and then I can kind of like tell what it's gonna be around, and I can go to a budget, a more stable budget. So for this pay period, which y'all know the beginning of the month is when I spend the most amount of money, when it's around that mortgage time and things like that. But near the middle of the month to the end of the month, this is where it's smooth sailing. This is where your girl don't really have any bills or whatever. So after putting money to the to my retirement, which I'm under budget for that because I didn't realize that I was gonna get a raise. So I budget $108.76 for retirement, but $112.46 actually went into the retirement. Then for investing, I budget $113.79, but $116.32 actually went into the investing. And it's always a good thing when I can save more money or invest more money. So I'm not mad about that at all. Y'all know that I have my savings, which is retirement, investing, and my personal savings set up on automatic draft. Those items comes out of my paycheck before money is even deposited into my main checking account. Now for savings, I don't know if y'all saw the previous video, but if you didn't, please go back and watch that video. But your girl is pausing her savings. Now I didn't catch it in time to stop the automatic draft, so $250 actually did go into my savings account. However, your girl gonna have to go in that savings account and pull that $250 out, especially if I don't pay off my collection account, because this month I'm actually trying to really pay off this collection account. Hopefully I can do that this month. Now, if I don't need the $250, I will put it back. But as of right now, how it's looking, I'm gonna need that money. So I just put 0 in the actual column right there, so that I can tell myself you're not saving any money in your personal savings until the end of the year because you need to get out of debt. And I'm saying this to myself, but hopefully I may be speaking to someone else, especially when you have 3 to 6 months of bills and expenses already saved up like I do. Y'all know I was telling y'all in the beginning of the year I didn't feel comfortable with paying all this money towards this Discover credit card because my savings account wasn't looking good. It was looking funny. But now that I have gotten that account to 5 months of bills and expenses, I now kind of like feel a little bit more comfortable with paying off big chunks of debt. And the only way I'm going to be able to do that is if I can put money from my personal income along with the money that I make on the side. If I can put money towards this debt and get out of it quicker, that way I can have more money to save. So that's that on that. I will keep y'all posted as I go along, because this is my first time actually doing this. I'm not even gonna lie, it kind of freaks me out. It kind of scares me a little bit because I come from a place where, you know, I've been broke before and I don't ever want to be broke before. I don't want to be broke again. You get what I'm saying? So it kind of like freaks me out to know that I'm pausing my savings. But I just feel like the quicker I can get this collection account paid off and this credit card paid off, I can go back to saving then. So those are the only two things that I'm worried about, because everything else are bigger debt. My student loan and my house. That's the only two debt that I will have remaining after I take care of the collection account account and the Discover credit card, and y'all know that I share 2 credit cards with someone, but I'm planning on putting money or giving the person money for my half, because I'm only responsible for half. I'm going to give my half when my job gives us our back pay next month at the end of the month. So I should be done with the credit card stuff and just moving towards saving more money and putting money towards the student loans and the house. Now, a couple of expenses that's supposed to come out. Y'all know I budget by paycheck, and let me show y'all how that look. I just go to my calendar, and at the beginning of the month, I write down every single thing that I want to spend money on that has a date on it and an amount, and I put it on here. And basically, everything that you see highlighted in purple, as you can tell, there's not a whole lot of purple, even though purple is my favorite color. But there's not a whole lot of purple on this calendar, which means there's not a whole lot of bills that's going to be due. Now, I have everything set up on automated draft, so I know that, okay, well, when that I got paid, I know retirement is going to come out, I know investing is going to come out, and I know the savings is going to come out. Then I also know my phone bill is going to come out on the Sunday, and I budget $175 for that, which my phone bill is kind of like around $174 and some change or whatnot. Let me go back to the paycheck worksheet. Where are we at? So the expenses that's going to be coming out of my account and that I have to take care of, because some of the expenses I have to actually go in for, such as gas and food, and I forgot to even put food on the list. You know what? I still have money in my account, so I'm going to be using the money that, because I'm not rolling over any money. I'm going to use the money that I have in my account for food, for groceries or whatever, so that can be taken care of, and I don't have to go and readjust the budget. But the expenses I have coming out this pay period is my phone bill, which I'm budgeting $175 for. Gas, I budget $50 every single Sunday. I've been doing really good on gas. I actually just filled up my car today, so I'm going to keep that one in the garage until it's time to go back to work, so I can have a full tank and I don't have to worry about filling up anymore, to be completely honest. So that $50 I may not even have to spend, because I already got a full tank in one of the cars. And then I'll just use the other car, because that one is a little bit above half, to kind of like ride the rest of the week out, because y'all know we're supposed to be having family coming or whatnot. But got gas on here for 2 Sundays, and that's $50 each. Then I have a subscription of $50 coming out on the 28th, which gives me a total of $553.76 of bills and expenses that is going to be paid with this paycheck, basically. Now, once I take care of all of the bills and expenses, because these are the stuff that's on automated draft, and this is the stuff that I know that need to be taken care of, such as the gas that I have to actually go in for. Now I do what is called a zero-based budget, because girl, you got a whole lot of money left. Like, what are you gonna do with that 22, 14, 41? I know you just not gonna give it a job to do, but I am gonna give it a job to do, because my overall goal, like I said before, is to pay off this collection account and then move on to this Discover credit card. So for one, I'm gonna put half of my mortgage and my utilities to the side, which is $875. I'm also gonna go ahead and start the aftercare fees and put that to the side, even though my son hasn't started school just yet, but it's always good to be ahead of the game than trying to wait and play catch up. So I'm gonna go ahead and put $200 aside for his aftercare fees, just in case, you know, I may not have it next pay period, or something may happen, or something may come up. I can go ahead and just take care of it now. Then I'm gonna also give myself $150 for fun, because who out here just paying debt and paying bills and not having a little bit of fun? Like, come on now. Like, y'all gotta show somebody some grace. People feel like just because you're in debt, you're not supposed to have any fun, and that got to be so miserable and so draining. And I don't live my life like that. I like to have a little bit of fun, because that motivates me to pay down more debt, because the more debt I can pay down and the debt I can get out of, the more fun I possibly can have in the long run. So I'm giving myself $150 this pay period for fun. And then I'm also putting $900 aside for debt. Now, this may change, because like I said, this month I'm only focusing on the collections account. And if I have a little bit of money left over, I might put some towards that Discover credit card. Now, I might go ahead and do that. But so far, it's looking like if I put that $900 aside, because I think I only owe $1,500 on the collection account. If I put this $1,900, let's do the math. 1,500 subtract 900, that leaves $600. And then I know I'm gonna be getting paid from Facebook. That's gonna be around $400. So I'm gonna go ahead and take that out. And then it's gonna leave $150. And I think, I don't know, I got 40 something dollars from blogging. I don't know, y'all. It might get paid off this month. I mean, it might go ahead and get paid off this month, because we still have one more Friday left in this month. So I still got to get paid from LTK, and I still got to, I still have 2 checks coming from LTK if, I meet the threshold. I didn't meet the threshold with YouTube, so I'm not going to get a check there, but I may get a check from Amazon. I mean, I still got money rolling in, so I'm going to put this $900 to the side, but I'm going to use the, the side money, because that was the overall goal, to use the side money first to take care of the debt, and then use my money as well. But hey, I may can roll some of that money over to the Discover credit card, which I am super excited about. And then we're just going to leave the change, $89.41 in the account for miscellaneous, because your girl like to eat up her budget. Your girl like to eat up her budget. Ain't no beating around the bush about that. I already told y'all we just going to start fresh next month when it comes to this food budget, because I know me. And sometimes you just have to be realistic with yourself, because that's how people be always going over their budget, because they are not realistic with themselves. And I know I've been going over my budget, and I got to be realistic with myself. So that's why I'm going to leave that $89 in there, just in case I go over on something, because your girl always tending to go over on something. So that's it for this bi-weekly paycheck. That's how I'm budgeting my paycheck, y'all. Make sure you go back and watch my previous video on how I budget my last previous paycheck, just in case, hey, you want to see like a regular old smegular girl budgeting her paycheck. If you like those types of videos, I will post it after this one, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.